Take a look at the Chicago Bears. You look right at that man first, Jay Cutler. They got him here in the offseason, and they needed him to be a guy that they could lean on. He's become that guy, but they need balance in this offense.
When we talked with Jay yesterday, he was excited, having lost the game on Sunday, to have a quick turnaround and get right back on the field. And remember, last year, on our first game of the season, while playing with Denver, he put on a show in Cleveland. They'll work out of it.
The whole thing comes down to this. This is an offensive line that has to come together. This is a group that's going to have to pave the way for both those things to happen.
Olin Kreutz told us yesterday, the Pro Bowl center, it's getting close. Josh Beekman back in at left guard as the starter. Cutler under pressure from Lawson. The pass intended for Clark, incomplete. Manny Lawson got a good push.
Got a good push and 2 straight plays, pressure on the quarterback by the San Francisco 49er defense. Now, when you look at this 49er defense, the first thing that jumps out at you is Patrick Willis, but oh, there's more to it. They've got some good, young, down linemen, and they get after it. This is a physical group. This is one of the best front sevens I've seen this year.
And this is what Chicago said yesterday, a repeated theme. We want to stay out of these kind of third downs.
Exactly right. 3rd
and long, 3rd and 8. 6 defensive backs in for the Niners. Cutler, Forte, hit by Willis, and dropped at the 22, and 3 and out for the Chicago Bears. Says a lot of the terminology is similar to what Norv Turner had when he was here as offensive coordinator. From the 41, Frank Gore, the tailback, Smith to throw, challenging to the outside for Crabtree, who makes a leaping catch. And let's see, they say out of bounds.
He was going to give him the catch. You saw the official there in the sideline, but he did not have control of the ball all the way through, and therefore it's incomplete.
Potentially for Crabtree, ruled incomplete. Gore in the backfield with Smith. On a little slant, there's Crabtree again, inside the 45. And tackle the Chicago 44, gain of 15.
Just a simple throw. You're just going to go with the slant, just a simple 2 route outside. They're going to watch him. Michael Crabtree on the top side. Here it comes, right inside. A little bit of a rub. Get in the way of the outside defender. They're manning up, which you got to like that. And then, boy, they're not afraid to get to the rookie right away. And that just speaks to the maturity of the kid.
You know, Michael Crabtree was telling us how much Coach Jerry Sullivan has helped him every day, peppering him on just the small little things. And he feels that, listen, Jimmy Ray told us, the offensive coordinator, this guy's going to have a big game soon. Will it be tonight? Gore hit by Briggs and Hillenmeyer and Brown and brought down after a gain of a couple.
There's the professor. Jerry Sullivan is a wide receiver coach for San Francisco. He's been in the league a long time. He knows receivers. He's coached a lot of good ones, but he will just be relentless on Michael Crabtree. And Crabtree responds. Crabtree responds. Just looking on the flip side now, there's his big brother, Isaac Bruce.
Got an ankle injury, inactive for tonight's ball game. Says he's my big brother. He helps me out. I ask him questions all day long. Pretty smart by the kid. Gore runs into Nick Roach, short of the first down marker. At the 37-yard line, gain of 3 on the play for Frank Gore.
When you start talking about the Chicago Bear defense, you know, their recipe for success was always tough, physical defense. But there's a difference right now with this Bear team. And the difference is right down the middle of their defense, they're not as strong. When you lose Urlacher and Mike Brown from a couple years ago, and then Dvorak gets hurt, and pretty soon you just down the middle, not as strong. They've got to play better up front. Let those linebackers make some plays.
Starting safety Al Alfalava inactive for the ball game. 3rd and 2. Smith under pressure. Crabtree's got it. First down. There is a flag on the play back at the line of scrimmage.
Well, he got a nice jump on the right side. It looked like Alex Brown may have jumped the count, blocker, and he's got to work himself into exactly what he's got to be.
First and 15 from the 22. Gore inside the 15 and knocked down at the 14. Vernon Davis with a key block, gain of 8.
Yeah, well done by Vernon Davis. Doesn't get down in the three-point stance, just kind of lining up, and then it just comes down. And this is the area of his game where he has worked very hard and has gotten better. You see, just taking Agunlie down inside and gets that edge for Frank Gore. And watch how, you see how Gore finishes at the end, gets down, gets his pad level down, and drives through.
Delaney Walker in a slot left. Davis in motion. On second down, Smith, slant. Crabtree dropped it. And there is the offensive coordinator of the San Francisco 49ers, Jimmy Ray, in his 33rd year in the National Football League.
Yeah, and Jimmy Ray has been around the league a long time, and he understands young players, and he understands how to get them integrated into the offense. And I'm impressed right now. He's not afraid to go to Michael Crabtree. That just tells you what kind of confidence the staff has in the rookie.
Crabtree has had the ball thrown to him 4 times so far for 2 catches. Davis in motion on 3rd and 7. Smith in trouble. And is going to get dropped by Tommy Harris back at the 21-yard line. Agunlie got the initial pressure. Harris gets the sack.
Yeah, Agunlie came off the right side and forced it. Now, the bottom line with the Chicago Bears when it comes to pass defense, it all starts up front. It's got to be just pure pass rush. This time they dropped their 7. There's 4 guys rushing, and the 4 is able to get there and get the pressure.
Coordinator Al Everest said he missed it. Forte and a 2nd and 10. Picks up a yard. Lawson again on the tackle. Good start for Manny Lawson of San Francisco.
Yeah, and on the flip side of that, not a good start for the Chicago Bear offensive line. You know, they're looking for some balance. They're looking for some balance, and they need Matt Forte to get going. And it starts up front. And they have 3 new guys up front in this offensive line. Crouch has been the guy who's been the leader the whole time. He's got Orlando Pace and Beekman and Williams at the right tackle, 3 new guys.
And just what Chicago said, we have to stay away from
exactly
3rd and long. Losing on 1st and 2nd down, it's 3rd and 9. They failed on a 3rd and 8 on their first possession. Blitz on, Olsen in space, stood up nicely and driven down. Great open field tackle made by the secondary of the San Francisco 49ers, and that's what you do with Greg Olsen. You don't let him run. Roach is back in for Chicago, who got shaken up in the last series. Morgan comes second. Gore finds the crease, takes it up to the 30, picks up 4 on the play.
You know, this Chicago Bear defense is kind of a little bit in transition, and they've gotten away from a lot of the cover 2 stuff, the soft zones on the outside, and they've really gone to a lot of man. Tonight, if you're looking at it with Crabtree, they're trying to get the ball. San Francisco's trying to get the ball to Crabtree. They're manning up a bunch here.
And Lance Briggs told us yesterday we've got to communicate much better as a defense. We're not communicating, and that's leading to a lot of breakdowns. Second and 6. No cutback lane for Gore that time. Adewale Agunlie made the first hit and the tackle.
Now, this Bear defense also knows that they need to get the running game going, and it's going to be Frank Gore. So what you do is you get an extra guy down there. And so this time they just drop their safety down, and they're giving you that 8-man look. Now they can do that when they're going to start to play a lot of man. You get the extra guy. They go that, or they would drop a safety down if they're going to play in a 3 deep. But they're playing a lot of single high safety. You can see right up top.
3rd and 6. Gore in the backfield with Smith. Jason Hill trying to run out of a tackle, and he's just near the first down marker. Might be about a half-yard short as Charles Tillman made the tackle. Good play by Tillman in the open field.
Yeah, games. They're going to define themselves here in the second half.
Bears will start from their own 11.
They like this matchup outside against the safety.
Cutler's looking right that way. Instead, he goes to Desmond Clark underneath. And Willis able to make the tackle along with Michael Lewis for a short gain on the play up to about the 17-yard line.
You know, Bob, when you watch this Chicago Bear offense, the one thing that jumps off the screen to you is just how quick Cutler gets the ball out. And really, halfway point of the season, how much more familiar he is now than he was at the start of the season. You're starting to see him relax and understand his guys around him.
Positive play on first down, 2nd and 3. Forte fights to the 20-yard line. He'll be about a yard short of the first down.
There's Ron Turner, the offensive coordinator for Chicago Bears, and he loves what he has in the quarterback spot. He also has been very pleased with the development of Devin Hester as a receiver. And that's another thing that stands out right away. You can see he's a lot more comfortable. He's not thinking. He gets in and out of his breaks better. And he also is in way more control than you used to see him a year ago.
Clark goes in motion. Forte in the eye. 3rd and 1. Forte has got the first down with forward progress to the 22-yard line. Patrick Willis got the first hit, but Chicago gets their first down with 2:25 to go here in the first quarter.
You heard about Patrick Willis, and you heard a lot of people talking about Patrick Willis. You know, again, on the pregame show, Marshall Falk was raving about him, and with good reason. This guy right here is a Pro Bowler already, but he's not as good as he's going to be. He's still developing, and he is an active player.
Cutler for Hester threw it high as Terrell Brown was closing in on the little screen to Devin Hester. Get the ball in the hands, get it in space.
Yeah, get him in space. That guy with his ball, with the ball in his hands in space is dangerous. It's just like a punt return, and that's kind of what they're trying to do with him. But you know, we were talking a little bit earlier about Devin Hester, but a year ago it looked like he was trying to run his routes full speed all the time, and now he's under control. He knows how to vary his speeds and use his speed as a real weapon.
Bears have 21 yards on 10 plays here in the first. Cutler with time. Cutler middle of the field, and he's got Olsen for a first down to the 38-yard line. Goldson on the tackle, gain of 16.
Nice protection. You're going to have Patrick Willis coming on a blitz off the right side, and he's sitting right down. Watch Forte. Much better job than it would have been done a year ago. Just steps up and allows Cutler to just slide a little bit to the left and make that bullet.
Chicago looking to pick up the pace a little bit after the pass play to Olsen and a first down. Forte squeezes through the hole, gets it up to the 40-yard line for a gain of 2 on the play.
You know, we talk about Patrick Willis and Takeo Spikes, the guys on the inside, the linebackers, but they cannot do their job unless you have a good nose tackle. And San Francisco has an excellent point man, Abreu Franklin right there, number 92, playing very good football. You can't defend a spot without beginning with a point. He's a good point man.
Franklin in his 7th year out of Tennessee. Cutler with time. Olsen wide open. Steps out at the San Francisco 40-yard line. He lost the safety. Michael Lewis, gain of 20.
In talking to the Chicago Bears and Ron Turner, the offensive coordinator, he said last night that any time that he had a chance where he's going to get any of the safeties matched up in Olsen, he likes that chance. This time, it just looked like they just blew a coverage, because Olsen should not be left alone, whether it's a zone, certainly not man.
From the Niners 40. Cutler, Olsen again inside the 35 and tackled at the 33 by Lewis and Willis. 2nd and 3 for Chicago. Forte bounces off the block, picks up 2. He's about a half-yard short of the first down. Abreu Franklin got the hit on him.
You know, San Francisco has great confidence in their front seven. And evidence of that is they'll stay in a two-deep look a lot. They'll keep their safeties back. You're going to watch them. They're going to keep them. Both these guys, they'll keep them back here, and they're going to expect this group up front to handle the run game all by itself, and it does. And again, they got very active backers and a couple of real good down linemen.
Third and short. Forte's got the first down. He needed the 30, and he got it. So the second 3rd and 1 conversion for Chicago. Remember their first possession, they had a 3rd and 8. Second possession, 3rd and 9. They get a couple 3rd and 1s. As Lovie Smith said, let's keep it manageable, keep run-pass option in play.
And that's exactly, this Chicago Bear offense, they want to get to 3rd and 5 or less. That's when they believe they're working at their peak. When they can do that, they can be the most efficient.
Olsen comes in motion and gets set. Cutler with time for Olsen along the sideline, incomplete. Terrell Brown on the coverage.
Yeah, he caught the ball, but he did not get both feet and wasn't even close. A nice job by the officials. Now, we said a little earlier about, they're going to move the chains, and they've been doing it with their tight ends. Olsen's a guy who's got very good speed. Number 1 pick, just going to try to run up that side. Terrell Brown, number 25, is right on top of him. But he's still going to keep feeding it to him. The big kid who does a good job of attacking the football.
Johnny Knox comes in, the rookie out of Abilene Christian, to the top of your screen at wide receiver for Chicago. Forte with a hole, spins off the tackle. Forte inside the 20, and tackle from behind inside the 15-yard line. Longest run of the ball game.
Yeah, well done up front by the Chicago Bears. And then once Matt Forte gets to the second level, right here, finishes with a spin, that's where he makes his money. Excellent vision, has very, very good feel. Watch his feet in the hole, right here. Keeps him going, good balance, well done.
Gain of 16 on the play. Forte, not much there. Abreu Franklin and Justin Smith stuck their nose in there right away.
We get down here in the red zone, and this is where this Bear team really likes Olsen. But it changes because now the field is compressed. It's shorter. The angles change. The defenders can break on things faster. Your angle for the ball coming out changes. So there's a lot of things inside that change in the passing game here inside this red zone.
Olsen with 6 touchdown catches on the season, 3 last week.
Going empty
against Arizona.
Got Forte outside.
Cutler with time. Cutler to Earl Bennett. Takes it to the 5, gain of 9.
Now, Earl Bennett is a guy that Jay Cutler has a lot of confidence with. And he, interestingly, he really likes him on inside routes. And you're going to see Bennett, he just comes down, kind of takes his time, and then a little burst, and the ball is right on top of him.
Vanderbilt to Vanderbilt. 3rd and 1, and Cutler keeps it, and that is 3 3rd and 1 conversions now for Chicago. Jay Cutler used that 233-pound frame. Lovie Smith really positive with the way this game is starting to unfold. They're running the ball a little bit. Jay Cutler has really struggled in the red zone with 6 red zone interceptions in the last 13 games. Tom Brady has 6 interceptions in his career in the red zone.
Hate when that happens.
First and goal. Forte. Maybe a yard. Spike's got the first hit. Rest of the defense converge. A little hesitation there from Forte.
Well, it closed. It was going to be a trap to the left side and shut down real fast, and so he redirected right at the point. But this is where you have to win this thing in the trenches, and that obviously comes down to the offensive defensive line. But one of the trends that you've seen, there's not a lot of good short yards and goal line running, and I think part of that reason is because the proliferation of the shotgun. You don't get down in the stance all the time and come off the ball with low pad runners. 2nd and goal.
Forte again. Not much there. Takes it inside the 2. It'll be 3rd and goal from about 1.5 yards out.
Well done by Abreu Franklin on the inside. Just stuffing up the middle. Now, if you're San Francisco, if you're the Chicago Bears right now, what you want to be able to do is give Jay Cutler an option. Get him out on the edge. Let him stretch the field a little bit. He can throw to the back of the end zone. There's somebody back underneath.
They bring Kevin Schaefer in as a tackle eligible. He's lined up to the left of the line. 3rd and goal, yard and a half for Chicago. Cutler with time, intercepted. Abreu Franklin. I talked about him being the man in the middle. That time he was the man with the hands. And another red zone pick for Cutler. Abreu Franklin with the pick. So both teams have missed chances to score. San Francisco missing a field goal, and Cutler throwing the pick. Smith.
It's on Smith.
Under siege and is going to get sacked back at the 5-yard line.
That one's on Smith. So let's go back to the interception. I want you to see this. They go play action. They're going to try to hit it up top to Clark. That is covered. He comes back inside to Kellen Davis. Now, he may have thought there was one guy open. There were 3 guys. 3 guys, and it's a pick. And you can see in Mike Singletary's eyes how happy he was for Abreu Franklin to come up with that.
He's left scratching his head as to
one of the things you see of him on tape is sometimes he doesn't anticipate very well. He waits to see things. You can't do that. There has to be better anticipation.
2nd and 18. Morgan got a block, takes it out to about the 14-yard line. Gain of 11 on the play. Jay Cutler just kind of shaking his head right now. He knows.
Yeah, and he knows exactly, and he knows what he was looking at, and he knows what he was trying to force it into that small window. And like we said, it was closed by Abreu Franklin, but some of that stuff, you know your arm, you know your strength, and you take a chance. And we talked about that to him yesterday. He knows he has to limit, especially early, he has to limit taking those chances.
3rd and 7, Walker in motion. Smith. Gore needs a block. Gore gets it. Gore has a first down to the 23. Gain of 8.
Did you see how Frank Gore finished that run? He knew where the first down marker was, and he knew he was going to have to finish the thing with power. And so he gets down behind his pads and runs right through it. You see Smith, he's buying time, now dumps it off underneath. Now watch Gore at the end. Just finish, head down, runs through his pads. Well done.
San Francisco wiggles himself out of a little danger, gets himself a fresh set of downs.
That's a big first down right there.
Nothing to say for Jay Cutler after that. Smith to Gore. Good awareness by Smith to find the open man. Gain of 9.
Now this is where Alex Smith is most comfortable. He's most comfortable in the shotgun. He sees the field better, makes better decisions from back there. And the thing about him is he moves around pretty well. You look at him, he's a big kind of angular, he's kind of tall, but he moves around pretty well.
That's what he was most comfortable doing from his college days.
Exactly.
Always being in the shotgun. 2nd and 1. Gore. Right near the first down marker. It'll depend on the spot.
Alex Smith, we were talking about him and just what kind of guy he is. And he's one of those guys who wants to know everything. A very bright guy, but he wants to know where everybody is on the field, and he likes precision. And one of the things that hurts him a little bit is the improvisation. When things break down and they're not where they need to be, that's where he struggles a little bit, and he readily admits it.
He admitted it. His offensive coordinator, Jimmy Ray, admitted it. Sometimes he overthinks situations. And Mike Singletary pulled him aside after last week and said, listen, just go play football.
Yeah, stop your thinking. What's wrong with you?
Gore picked up the first down. Smith's pass is deflected and nearly intercepted by Nick Roach. Fine play by Roach, who got shaken up earlier in the ball game.
Yeah, and he shook those cobwebs off fast. Well done by Roach. He's going to come off that right side. Right here, you're going to see him. And does a good job, good awareness. Get your hands up, try to deflect if you can, but get in the way, and almost comes up with a great play.
Smith knew that Vernon Davis was the hot with Roach blitzing, and Roach just made a good play.
Yep.
Second and 10 for the 49ers. 5:32 to go in a scoreless half. Gore hit by Briggs at the 37-yard line after a gain of 4.
You know what you're seeing right now of the Chicago Bears, which I got to be frank with you haven't seen a lot of in the National Football League this year, but good tackling. Right now you're seeing good tackling out of this Chicago Bear defense. Lance Briggs is a good tackler. And we talked about it last night with him, with Lance Briggs. You know, he just said we did not tackle well last week. And if you're going to do that, you better bring everything with you. And you better be able to see it with those eyes, diagnose it fast, and get to the ball.
Channeling a little Mike Singletary there in the ball with those big eyes.
It's a good look.
3rd and 6 for the Niners. Smith to the middle. Morgan first down to the 45. Well, you know, we talked so much about Alex Smith wanting to work the outsides as he did last week. This time he goes inside to Morgan.
Yeah, this is really well done by Alex Smith because they came out with their set. And then from their set, you see the defense was checking, and you saw that. Now watch the patience. He has the patience. He has Vernon Davis coming to the outside, and then Morgan breaks to the inside, and the ball's right where it has to be. That time, well done with anticipation.
So first down to Morgan from the San Francisco 46. Smith looking for the home run to Crabtree, and it's intercepted at the 19-yard line. Zachary Bowman on the pick, his 3rd of the season.
And well done. He knows, this is Zach Bowman outside. He knows that he has safety help on the inside, and he also is going to get his underneath coverage out of his linebackers. So you hold the outside, nicely done, and now play the ball through the receiver. And held perfect position, good discipline, comes up with the pick.
Forte and a 1st and 10. Flag on the play as he takes it out to the 21-yard line. It's a gain of 7. So we'll check the flag again. 1st and 19 for Chicago. 2 tight ends. McKee the fullback. Forte the tailback. Cutler to throw. Forte to the sideline. Knocked out of bounds by Michael Lewis at the 14-yard line. Gain of 4 on the play. Well, catch NFL Replay for exclusive re-airs of the weekend's 4 best games. It's the best way to look back at some of the great action in the NFL every week, enhanced with wired sound and more non-stop action. No halftime. NFL Replay Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 8 and 9:30 Eastern on NFL Network. Great way to relive Sunday during the middle of the week.
Doesn't get any better than that. That's some good stuff.
2nd and 15, screen. Forte with a nice catch. Runs out of a tackle, and Room picks up the block. Forte to midfield, and then finally Goldson brings him down at the 49-yard line of San Francisco. Gain of 37.
Well, the whole thing's not going to happen unless he gets one quick block on the front end. See, Takeo Spikes is down. This is going to be a screen set up here. And now I want you to watch Olin Krutz, number 57, right there. That's the key.
And then the longest reception of Forte's career as Chicago driving again. Adrian Peterson in for Chicago after Forte's 37-yard catch and run. Cutler with time. Receiver slip. Intercepted by Terrell Brown. Brown picks up the block. Needs another. Gets it. Inside the 15. And it'll be 1st and goal, San Francisco.
Pushes him out of bounds. So good hustle by Cutler.
From the 14. Gore with room. Gore, touchdown Niners. Under pressure, Forte has a first down to the 31-yard line. With under 1 minute to go here in the first half. Coming up next, the Sprint halftime show. Stay tuned for Rich Eisen and Deion Sanders in studio. Michael Irvin and Chad Ochocinco. Don't want to miss that interview. Little no huddle. Cutler, middle of the field. Earl Bennett's got a first down. And he gets tackled at the 48-yard line. And Chicago will use a timeout with 37 seconds to go in the half. You have time.
Yeah, a lot of look here out of Muskie's defense.
Bears with 2 timeouts remaining. Johnny Knox makes his first catch and gets out of bounds.
Good job
Trey
by
Bly
Knox.
missed the tackle that would have kept him inbounds and forced Chicago to use the timeout.
And so Manusky this time dials up a 3 deep, 5 under, rushes 3. And so he's trying to flood the whole zones underneath. And Knox does a good job, as does Cutler, and able to get the ball to him. But Knox does a good job of making the miss and then get outside. Right there, he throws it back underneath, and then Trey Bly, he just runs away from him. Knox has great speed incidentally.
Saves Chicago a timeout. Cutler on a 3rd and 4. Olsen dragged down by Mark Roman. He's got a first down. Chicago will burn another timeout with 20 seconds. They have 1 remaining. For goal.
Well, anybody can make the 45. They want to try to see if they can do this 50.
Snap is good. Kick on its way. It's got plenty of leg, and Robbie Gould connects from 50.
That's a good kicker. Where's he from?
Penn State.
Oh, he's a good kicker.
So with 2 seconds to go, Robbie Gould able to knock it through from 50 after the delay of game penalty on Chicago.
Yeah, they're just making it hard on themselves. They've done it the whole first half. They've come out with two picks, a couple of penalties, and they're still right in the middle of this football game. They've not played their best, but they've been holding the San Francisco offense in track or in check now.
You know, we saw Crabtree early.
Right.
Alex Smith tried to force one through to the outside when Crabtree had inside position, got picked off. Let's see if they go back to him a little bit. Gore on first down run, hit by Hunter Hillenmeyer. Tackled after a gain of a couple. 3 yards on the pickup.
If you go back to what Mike Singletary, the head coach, said, he wanted to be at the very beginning of the year. He wanted to be physical. He wanted to have a good running game, and he wanted to play physical defense. And so now here you are. You're up 7-3. It's going to be one of them games. It's going to be a slugfest. And so they need to get Frank Gore running the football here in the second half.
Gore 8 carries for 39 yards so far. Morgan in motion. Feed it to Gore again, and Tommy Harris drops him for a loss of a couple.
That was really well done by Tommy Harris. He just had a nice quick inside move. He jumped around the guard, and boy, he was right in the middle of the backfield. You're gonna watch him right there, number 91. See how he took that right against Boss. Boss got a little top heavy. He just used him against him. Took his momentum, jumped over the top of it, back in the backfield. Ooh, I like that. That's good stuff. Yes, it is. That's what he's capable of. When he's on, he makes a lot of those plays.
Kicked out last week after the 4th play of the game. So 3rd and long for the Niners. Crabtree gets 1 block, but then Briggs cuts him down after a gain of 5. And San Francisco goes 3 and out.
And
Chicago, with the Niners leading 7-3 here in the 3rd. Keo Spike's hamstring injury, not expected to return. Devin Hester in space, and he gets cut down after a gain of about 8. Matt Wilhelm on the tackle. He's in for Spikes. Well, this is what Chicago did in bringing in Jay Cutler. And 2 interceptions. 3rd and 4 for Chicago. 6 defensive backs in for the 49ers. Well, Bennett comes set top of the screen. Cutler under pressure. Intercepted by Goldson. Tried to check down to Adrian Peterson, and Cutler's been picked off for the 3rd time. in only his 9th game. They give it to Gore. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Well, I had apologized to Jay Cutler. I want you to watch the umpire right there. Remember we showed you earlier in how they were trying to run picks off the umpire? Well, this guy is instructed when there's a pass to gain ground, and he tries to gain ground right there, but he just bumps into Hester, and Hester doesn't finish his route all the way through, and he just throws it over. It would have been a completion. He said, what am I going to do? Guy, you know, he knocked into him, intercepted.
And it's going bad, it's going bad. 2nd and 10 for Smith and the Niners. Checks down to Gore, and Gore's going to lose a couple. Charles Tillman was there to make it a loss of 2.
And that's good coverage by the Chicago Bears. You could see how he was trying to look down the field first, waiting for it to develop, and it wasn't there, and then he hit his outlet, and they did a good job of converging, going from deep to short to shut that thing down.
You know, and this is one of the things Lovie Smith talked about his team, you know, fighting through the bad plays, being mentally strong as a team, sort of the same theme as Mike Singletary, but you throw the interception, now go out and play good defense and get the ball back.
Exactly right.
Gore and Michael Robinson in. 3rd and 12. Smith had his arm hit, flag on the play, and intercepted. Lance Briggs got the pick off the deflected ball, but we'll check the flag. It was a bit more animated when they came off the field. So Jay Cutler to Matt Forte. He's got Beekman out in front. Gets a block from Beekman inside the 30. And down at the 23-yard line, gain of 31 for Forte.
Well, Jay Cutler has tried to push the ball down the field a few times, but what's been his best friend tonight has been the screen. And so what they do is they allow the rush to come, and then they just dump it over the top. He draws it in, and it's really well done. Like you said, Beekman with the push right there, and then to the outside goes Forte and picks up a big up.
After the Terrell Brown interception.
Well, they're locked up here.
Smith with some time, middle of the field, finds Crabtree across the 50, gain of 20.
Well, they had man-to-man outside. Smith saw it. He got the protection that he needed, and he was able to find Crabtree down the field. But the whole thing starts right here. Just watch the nice protection, and then I want you to watch Crabtree on the top side. Here he comes. He has the time. He eyeballs him right into that zone, just sitting there, and it's a big first down. They went to Crabtree early, and that's the first time they've gone to him since early in the game.
Niners' biggest offensive yardage gain of the game, 20 yards. Morgan in the middle of the field takes the 45 before he's tackled after a gain of 4. I said the biggest offensive gain because, of course, Terrell Brown had a 51-yard interception that set up Frank Gore's 14-yard touchdown run.
But when they went to Crabtree early, I mean, you could see what he can do. And he's one of those guys that they like the matchup with him. And he's pretty accomplished in his route running and getting off jams. You can see right now he's locked up again up top.
4 catches for 48 yards. Nothing doing for Gore. Nick Roach got the first hit on him. That'll be a loss of 2 on the play.
That's good defense up inside by the Chicago Bears. But when you look at Crabtree, the other thing that impresses you.
This will be the second third down attempt of 9 or more yards for Chicago. 3rd and 11. Middle of the field, Olsen, first down. Make him 1 for 2. Gain of 14 to Olsen.
Nicely done by Cutler. He sees the pressure come from his left side, and then he knows because the pressure's coming that way that Olsen's going to be able to have a hole in the middle of the field. So here comes the pressure off the left side. Eyes are up, down inside, boom, ball's out, first down.
Olsen's 6th catch, 69 yards. On the 44, 1st and 10 Bears. Approaching 3 minutes to go in the 3rd. Forte can't handle it in space. A little high. On kickoff Sunday with NFL Game Day Morning, the earliest and best pregame show on Sunday. NFL Game Day Morning. All pros Warren Sapp, Marshall Falk, Michael Irvin. Starts at 9 Eastern only on NFL Network. It's always fun being in stadiums around the league and getting a chance to talk with Warren and the whole crew and get you set going around the league, getting you the latest updates, weather conditions. Remember Scott Hansen in Buffalo last year?
Oh, yeah.
Getting blown all over the lot.
Heck, that's like being in the locker room. You tune in just to listen to that.
2nd and 10. Cutler under pressure, middle of the field. Earl Bennett's got it. Runs out of a Lewis tackle. There's a flag back on the play. Near midfield. Gain of 40.
Bob, that was great patience by Jay Cutler.
2 flags. His defense has risen up here. 7-6 to score from midfield. Forte.
Nice hit.
NFL Total Access will take you around the league for the latest news and information from all 32 teams. NFL Total Access Monday through Saturdays only on NFL Network. Tune in, you find out who's making news around the National Football League every night here on NFL Network. Rich Eisen and the entire crew do a great job with that, keeping you informed about your favorite football team. 2nd and 8. Forte. Hit by Willis and Wilhelm and Smith.
You know, now those of you sitting at home, you may be watching this thing, say, man, where's all the offense and where's all the excitement? But I got to tell you, there's a lot of good stuff going on the defensive side of the ball. That is excellent job of holding the point on the front side. Good discipline on the backside. And Willis just comes back and bang. They have not gotten much from Matt Forte tonight. And that's because that defensive front has played so well.
He has 88 yards receiving. Low snap. Cutler, middle of the field. Intercepted. Mark Roman with the Niners' 4th pick. And thrown down at the 42-yard line.
The whole thing started with a bad snap. And then
looked like Roman ran right through Davis.
He has a right to the ball. That's all I would say defensively.
Gore on the check down. Gore knocked inside the 40. Tackled by Mark Anderson after a gain of 5. Well, Jay Cutler since 1962, the first quarterback since Billy Wade with 2 4-interception games in 1 season.
Well, 2 of them for sure aren't on him. I mean, but I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, once they're thrown, they're thrown. But 2 of them weren't. And this last one, you know, to me, I look at that's good defense by Mark Roman. But you can make the case that he did bump him.
Now for the season, 16 interceptions thrown by Cutler. Smith buys himself some time. He's trying to find Davis, but he overthrew him out of bounds.
You see Jay Cutler not real pleased with what the heck is going on. He's talking Olsen to that thing. But, you know, here's the bottom line. Jay Cutler, as a team now, Jay Cutler should turn around and thank that defense, because right now the defense is keeping them completely in the game. You throw 3 picks. Here comes your 4th. You're in poor field position, and they have this 3rd down and have an opportunity to get off the field here.
Conversely, San Francisco is recording 4 interceptions, and they can't deliver the knockout punch. 3rd and 5 from the 39. Direct snap to Gore. Gets a block. Frank Gore to the 20. Gore down to the 10. He fumbled the football as he got hit from behind. And they say San Francisco ball. That's the preliminary signal.
Well, Frank Gore is getting up with a little bit of a...
Oh, and I think
that's the player in him that still is in there. That's the part that I really like about him.
9:01 to go. Niners by 4. Nowhere to run for Frank Gore. Gets shut down by Briggs and Danielle Manning. You know, 4 turnovers that you forced. but you only have 10 points to show for it. Plus Nedney, after 50 in a row from 40 or less, misses a 39-yarder.
That's a big one.
You know, if you're the Bears right now, just play defense. Keep giving Jake Cutler an opportunity with 8:33 to go in the ball game. San Francisco's got to get a little something going offensively.
Got to get something. This Bear defense has played well, as has the 49er defense has played well.
Gore with room. Gore across the 30. Gore with a first down up to the 40-yard line. Gain of 23 for Frank Gore.
This is a good job of his offensive line. And that off to the right side. And then Gore right there with Josh Bullocks just freezes him. Cuts back to the inside, picks up about 20. He should be around 100 yards right now.
19 of 93. And you notice once he got in space and got past Bullocks, 2 hands on the ball.
Good job. He learned from the last time he was down here.
Gore comes set. Gore reverses his field. Briggs gets him around the neck after a gain of 3.
And did you see Lance Briggs right there, how he redirected? That's the sign of an excellent linebacker. Yeah, it's just change of direction. A lot of times you see it in space, but here in that run game, they start one way, and then Gore comes back the other side, and Briggs just redirects really well. Watch this, see, it's right there. See, he comes inside out.
So 2nd and 7 for the Niners. Under 7 minutes to go in the game. Gore again in space, tackled by Hunter Hillenmeyer. 7th-year linebacker out of Vanderbilt, gain of 4.
And so they get to 3rd and manageables, which is where they want to be. So your 3rd and about 4. Your intermediate game works. You don't have to push the ball anywhere.
Frank Gore now has exactly 100 yards on 21 carries. He's on the sideline for a breather with Glenn Coffey inactive. Michael Robinson in at tailback.
Bunch down below here.
Give for Robinson. He's got the first down. Tackled from behind by Danielle Manning. That's an impressive drive right now by the Niners.
Yeah, and a good job of a little bit of a mix, but mostly the running game going on right here. But they come to bunch to that right side, and they just try to gain leverage with your blocking. And a lot of it here is with the tight ends, and that's going to be Vernon Davis. I want you to watch him. He's got to get the edge. He's got to seal that thing right there. Gets on Manning and just slows him down. Wasn't a powerful block, but he was able to just slow him down to tad so Robinson could get the edge.
All 5 plays in this drive runs for the Niners. Gore back in. Maybe a half yard, and that's it. Hillenmeyer on the tackle. Approaching 5 minutes to go in the ball game. San Francisco trying to snap a 4-game losing streak.
And just trying to control the football here. And they're just trying to work the clock and run it down. And they have the 4 points. And they'll play it just for the field goal if they have to.
And what this drive has accomplished, even if they don't get another first down, that is they've changed field position. This drive started at their own 18-yard line. 2nd and 10. Pass intended for Norris, incomplete.
That's going to go against the Chicago Bears. They jumped inside.
The Goulier got the pressure on Smith.
Defense number 91. In the neutral zone to snap. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
It's on Tommy Harris. So another penalty by the Bears.
Penalties, turnovers. It goes back to beating yourself. You can't beat yourself. Chicago Bears tonight have just been, they've been awful.
More penalty yardage than rushing yards tonight. That's never a good thing.
No, but this Bear defense has kept them in the game. And they've held them here to 10 points. This is still a winnable game.
Gore can't squeeze through the hole. It closes fast. Goulier and Hillenmeyer on the tackle.
Now, this Bear defense has been able to control because of the defensive line, the down lineman, and that's Rod Marinelli, and he coaches the defensive. That's one of the best teachers, football coaches, that I've ever been around. He's also very influential. You know, the first thing I did when I took out the roster, I looked at it, and there's 27 defenders, and there's 23 on offense, and there's 10 defensive linemen. So he's had a little influence there on the roster.
Big 3rd and 3. Robinson in at tailback. Smith, Robinson bobbles it, catches it. He's not contacted. He can get up, and he does for a first down.
Well, there's a night at the Improv for Alex Smith, and he's able to get it and pump it out to Robinson, the former quarterback at Penn State, who just takes this thing, and first you have to get the handle. Once you get the handle, then you get the first.
Just rolled forward, and because nobody touched him down, he can roll as much as he wants. More importantly, he got the hot potato, and he rolled for a first down.
And they keep the clock moving, and it's moving down.
Gore stood up by Briggs. No gain on the play. Now Chicago is going to call a timeout with Wilson. Replay the down. Cutler avoids the sack. Forte in space. Hit by Terrell Brown and tackled near the 30-yard line.
Oh, man,
now,
it's a flagathon.
At the end of the play, flags came flying in. You saw the head linesman throw a flag.
It's like Chris Williams going over the top, taking a hit on somebody.
.com/fan.
2 minutes to go. Bears down by 4. 2nd and 20. Hester trying to find space. Takes it up to the 25-yard line. Patrick Willis on the tackle.
Pickup of 10. He sets up 3rd and 10. It's still 4 down territory, so that was a good game.
But the bad penalty by Chris Williams, because the down counts. 10 penalties by Chicago tonight, plus 4 turnovers. Flag on the play as Cutler checks down underneath to Forte. Forte across the 40 to the 45.
And it stops the clock.
And we check the penalty with Ron Winter. Gain of 20.
Outside. Defense number 98 lined up in the neutral zone. Penalties decline. Play results in a first down.
Harris Harrelson called for the penalty. Forte is the first Bears running back to have over 100 yards receiving since Raymond Harris did it back in 1996.
Oh, Raymond Harris, there's a name for you.
Forte with 41 yards rushing, but 120 yards receiving. 1st and 10 for Cutler, middle of the field. Olsen tripped up by Mark Roman.
That penalty there stopped the clock at $1:26.
Chicago has 1 timeout remaining. 1:10 to go. Cutler, Hester, inside the 40 to the 39.
Got to go to hurry up right here. You're already under a minute.
Say Jewelers post game coming up right after the ball game. Cutler spikes it with 52 seconds to go.
39 yards, 52 seconds. It's very doable. And like we said earlier, that's why you brought this quarterback here to Chicago. So forget all the mistakes. Forget the great defense. Forget all that stuff. Now you got to make a play, and that's why you're here.
A little confusion with the Niners defensively. They had to hustle Ballmer off the field. 2nd and 10. Cutler, middle of the field again. Devin Hester just got touched down by Patrick Willis at the 30. Gain of 9.
Down to 40 seconds. 30 yards away. Nice patience in the pocket. They're playing them 4 deep. They're giving the zone.
Slant again. Johnny Knox. Tackled at the 22. 25 seconds to go. 1st down Chicago.
Got to clock it here. Get to 20 seconds. You have About 4 plays to go.
Cutler downs it with 17 seconds remaining in the ball game.
17 seconds. You have 3 plays. 3 plays. You have 1 timeout left.
Which means you can use the middle of the field still.
Exactly right. Now you figure between plays now he's got to get about 10 yards here, and then they got to go to the end zone. Don't go to the end zone from here.
2nd and 10. Hester.
Perfect.
To the sideline, and that's Devin Oromashado, the 3rd-year man out of Auburn.
That is perfectly done. Although he still has 1 timeout left, he could still use it inside. But you push it to the end zone with 13 seconds.
1st and 10 for Cutler. To the middle of the field, Olsen, incomplete. Lewis on the coverage. That's the guy they want to get the ball to in the red zone.
This is where he's not very good. I mean, this is where he struggles, is in this red zone. Trying to push it down there to Olsen. The coverage is all there. He's looking at it the whole time. Lewis is all over it. 8 seconds left. It'll take 6 seconds. You'll have about 2 left when he pushes it into the end zone. He can't try to buy any time. The ball has to come out quick.
Hester to the bottom of the screen. Cutler to the end zone, intercepted. Michael Lewis gets pick number 5. And the San Francisco 49ers have ended their 4-game losing streak, and Jay Cutler picked off for the 5th time tonight. Matt, could he have run with it?
He could have. He would have had a chance if he threw it away earlier. As it is, it ends up with no time left on the clock. If he'd have taken a chance, you'd have probably had a better chance of taking off and running.